I'm going. Here we go. Sports mode. Oh, bloody hell. Oh, bloody hell. Rear wheel drive. Right then, so I've removed the bearing with my new super duper and cheap bearing puller. That was cheap from Amazon. I'll stick that in the link below. It was about 10 or 15 quid. It does the job great. Pulled that out, just giving it a quick clean up. When I get the new bearings, I'll clean it out a bit more with the AC50. I've also let the pressure down. So I understand, I've been told the tyres, if they're tubeless, 30, 32, I thought I'd read, but with a tube in, 15, and it seems to be the recommendation. So that's probably part of why it exploded. I mean, I'm sure it exposed a weakness as well. That one went up to 30, no problem. So I've let that down to 15, and we'll make sure the new one's 15. So I've took the bearing out of here as well. Just a bit of just a clean up. We'll give it a better clean up when the new bearing comes, but I've got to put it in a tube in now. So we've lifted this, cleaned that, and put the inner tube in. There is the hole for the valve to come through. Right, wish me luck, because that is stiff. I won't get my hand in there. We'll see. Let's see how we go. Right, nice new inner tube. Interesting, it's got the valve with that shape on it, which means it'll come out and upwards. The other ones didn't have that on, so I'd bought, if I can find it, I can't find nothing, get tidied. So I'd bought some of these, you know, to add to the valve, but probably a waste of time, because I think that is going to come out in the right place. So the other valve didn't have that on. Interesting. Anyway, let's see how we go. New inner tube. A quick check. Blows up, holding air. It's best when you put these things in. I do know a bit about this, not a huge amount, but to have a little bit of air in the inner tube, it just helps you push it in. But so I'm not going to video it. I ain't got the tripod set up. I'll just show you afterwards. Right, inner tube's in. We haven't sealed this. Just a tiny bit of air in it, just to sit the inner tube nicely. That one properly. That should be enough, just to inflate it in there slightly so we don't nip it and trap it. Right, we've got to put the seal back on. Right, tyre rim on. A little bit of air in it. Valve sat in the right position. Okay, slowly then. Oh, didn't explode this time. Get the pressure right. Okay, so new inner tube. Wheel cleaner. Bumper and tyre trim. Plenty of rags. Let's see if we can sort this puppy out. There we go. What do you reckon to that for a job? Yep, you're absolutely right. I cheated. I bought three new wheels. Decided in the end they weren't that expensive, so I thought I'd have 3 new wheels. Great stuff. Okay, there we are. There's the wheels on. There's the fuel tank, but it's not being cleaned yet, and I don't even know if it goes on that way around or the other way. Wow, windy. Wheels need washers. The washers haven't turned up, so I've not tightened these up yet and not finished with the wheels, because we just need to put a couple of new stainless washers in there. Oh, and as if by magic, as soon as I said that, they turned up. So I'll go and pop these on the wheels. So what I'm just doing is I've removed this. This stops. It goes up to here, up on the wheel, and it kind of, when you land, it stops this wheel from bending backwards here. Look, which it could do, because it's got a quick release pin here, so you can put this trike away, and so you get a bit of flex. Now this is, you know, it's not stainless, it's obviously just cheap steel again, swaged in. So I'm just swaging in some aircraft aluminium. It's at T316 wire rope. It's the same as I've used on my rudder cables for my aeroplane. I'm just swaging it in. I'm about just to shrink wrap that, and this of course is going to come up to here on an eyelet. The first thing is, what kind of paramotor do I have? You'll probably remember in some of the other videos that I talked about it being a PAP, and the reason behind this is because I was told it was a PAP. I think quite a while ago, when I actually reached out and asked somebody what paramotor is it, somebody kind of told me with some authority it was a PAP. I can't even remember who it was, and I believed them. And it does look very PAP-ish from the outside, and I did have a quick Google at the time, and I saw the throttle. It just looked like a PAP throttle. It turns out though that a lot of these Spanish brand paramotors are very similar. They use classic, you know, kind of stainless steel construction, fabricated, and they tend to use very similar designs with very similar technology. But it turns out mine's not, and I have had a bit of a post. It's not been 100% confirmed. I have actually emailed or messaged the company concerned, but I believe it's an Airfer, if that's how you pronounce it. An Airfer paramotor, another Spanish make. I think the Spanish paramotors, people like PAP, HE, Airfer, PXP is it, and they're all very, very similar, but I believe it's an Airfer. I don't know whether that makes much difference to finding the parts, but that's what we've got. Well, this is the engine, filthy, old, but last time I had it, it ran fine. Well, last time I ran it, it ran fine. As you've seen on that video, the throttle is horrendous. You see we've got tie wraps everywhere. That's probably going to need replacing as well, no doubt. By the time you replace everything, it makes you wonder whether you should just buy something newer. But a bit of cleaning up to do here. Like I said, it worked before, so we'll get it working. I mean, it'll still be a good trike. I've just removed this from here. I've just been cleaning up with a little bit of traffic film remover. It's filthy, but it's not important. But I wanted to take the carb off, just to change the diaphragms. I thought we'd just start well, new gasket, new diaphragms, and take it from there. We seem to have broke something here. I don't know what. I don't remember breaking anything, but it's quite a while since I took this apart. Maybe I pulled it off and didn't realise, or is that just a breather? I don't know. It looks like that snapped off something. Who knows? Let's see. So the next thing is the carb rebuild. Rebuilt the carb. I took the carb off. Right, carbs in bits. K10WB. I've ordered the rebuild kit. I'll give this a bit of a clean up now, but yeah, I've ordered the rebuild kit. That takes quite a few days to come though, so that's going to sit dormant for a little while. Yeah, that's it. I mean, I never know. You look at these diaphragms and you think, is it knackered or isn't it? How do you know? I think you just have to change them and see. I mean, they all look fairly clean, but I don't know. I don't know what constitutes knackered diaphragm. Is that knackered? Who knows? We'll assume it is. But that's coming, and then we put that on the carb. It's got these, haven't seen these since my old Yamaha DT50 reed valves. Oh my god. It's got to clean that up. A bit of gasket sealant. Need some gasket sealer as well. Gross. Reed valves. Oh, that looks bent. They're a bit damaged. Will that make much difference? I wonder if we can buy some. No. Did a bit of burning there. Let's see. Right, so what have we got? Can we see in here somewhere? Yeah, diaphragm kit. I'll just change these diaphragms. Right, so I've put it all back together with the new diaphragms in. You have to be careful. I had to look at a diagram. When you're my age, your memory's rubbish. Try not to take it apart. A different date when you put it back together when you're 55. Anyway, it's back together. I've got it cleaned up with the old carb cleaner, and we're ready to go with the carb. So these reeds now, they're made out of some kind of carbon fibre or carbonite, I've seen it referred to, depends on the price you pay. Hang on, get out of the junction. Sports mode. Always better in sports mode. Oh god, talking to you now and I've missed the junction. Alright, we'll wait for the next one. Be with you in a minute, chubsters. Can't believe I'm going to work. I like being at home in my man shed. A lot of traffic today. What time is it? 7:36 in the morning. Right, I'm going. Here we go. Sports mode. Oh bloody hell! Oh bloody hell! Rear wheel drive. And we're out. Right. So where was I? Oh, carburettor. Oh yes, reed valves. The reed valves are a little bit different. The petals on here, as you can see, they're burned there. It seems to be the same, just mainly one, although there's a bit more on here. On both of them, problem is I don't know what the engine is, what this reed valve's off. It's very similar to a Lambretta reed valve, but it isn't. I've had that measured. Looks almost identical, and you know, unless it's just different engines. But I've got to figure this out, and probably somebody's mentioned just buying the material, this carbon fibre, and cutting it out, getting the right thickness. I measured this thickness at 0.38, and I think that was probably 0.35. So I'll order some of that, I think, and we'll try and neatly cut that out, perhaps with a Dremel. Got the airbox, found the airbox, took me a while. I've just given that a bit of a quick degrease and clean up. So just the petals, and then we can probably try and get it all back together and see if it runs. I also done a little bit of steel rope work, swaging in some of these support cables that prevent the trike from deforming when it lands. It just kind of holds it all together. Swage those in. I bought the kit with the aeroplane build because the rudder assembly, or the rudders on the KFA kit plane that I'm building, you know, they have the same aircraft grade 3mm steel rope, and I've bought more of that, and I've got all the ferrules and the swaging tools and stuff, so I've just been replacing the cables. It was it's fairly straightforward to do when you've got the tools. Like everything, it's having the tools. So I've been doing that, haven't done them all yet. I'd like to change the stimulus, been swapping, reversing. I'm at work, chubsters. Oh gosh, try not to back into this big heavy. I'll get me a little parking spot here. This is my favourite. I bump up and down the curb. I can get out of this one because there's a path at the side. Yeah, so where were we? Oh yeah, so we've been swaging in all the steel rope and all the bits and pieces, so that's going pretty well. And then I decided to mount the paramotor onto the back of the frame. One of the issues I had was, look, where it was mounted, you can adjust it. The paramotor can go up and down on the trike, and it looked a little bit low, you know, nice, low and sleek, but the bottom bit of the paramotor actually was pressing on this lateral wire that keeps the lateral, you know, prevents the wheels from splaying outwards like that. And this wire goes from wheel to wheel, it goes from axle to axle, and that wire was actually touching the bottom of the paramotor, slightly warping it. So I thought, well, when you land, there's going to be some pressure pushing the paramotor upwards, and that can't be good. So I've raised it up to the next hole, which is actually the top hole, and I've now got some clearance. So hopefully when I put the harness on, that's not an issue with the harness in the seat. We'll have a look. I'm fairly sure it won't be. So I've done that. I've mounted the engine back on. I'm giving the engine a bit of a clean and a degrease. So basically degrease it, because I just don't want filthy oil getting everywhere. Well, a bit windy, if you can hear me. I've just been putting things together. How filthy does this look? It's had a bit of a degrease, but gosh, still looks filthy. I'm going to get a bit more time. I might try and polish things up. That's where the reed valve goes. Bit of paper in there, soaked in a bit of AC50. I think I've got a paramotor cover there. My daughter bought me for my birthday a while back. Engine's mounted. Wheels are on. I've actually lifted the frame up. The frame seemed a little bit low and was touching this, if you can see it, that brace, wire rope brace, was actually touching the bottom of the paramotor. So I've lifted it up to the highest point, giving it a bit more clearance. You'll see there one side, that's the steel rope that I've put on, the brace that goes forward. Haven't done the other side yet, but I will. I just ended up mounting the engine, so that's to be done. And then the harness to be cleaned. So, progress. I figured out the carb thing. This, first of all, that you can probably see just on the left, there's a spare nipple coming out of there. That was a reserve tank, which was that blue thing I showed you before. Makes a reserve tank out of, looks like an old chainsaw oil container. But they did. I'm taking that off. It was wedged into this corner here. But from the fuel tank, I've just remembered that goes to a bulb, a squeezy bulb, a priming bulb. It was as stiff as you like. They go hard after a few years. And that was the broken piece on the carburetor. So that goes up to the carburetor, and I believe that black pipe there, that goes onto the carburetor too. So might do a bit more cleaning, but before I throw elbow grease into cleaning everything up properly, I'm going to make sure it runs okay, otherwise waste time and money cleaning it, and it might be scrap. It wasn't, but who knows now. Cleaned up the fuel tank a little bit. I've degreased it all so I don't get filthy handling it. But there we go. So that's basically it. That's the catch up for now. Thanks for watching again. don't forget, if you do like these videos, please do give me the thumbs up and subscribe. I have had continued increase in subscribership. I'm really pleased. The channel's gaining popularity again, which, you know, if it's been dormant for quite a while, but it just shows that people are enjoying the content. So if you're enjoying the content, I enjoy making it. So please do subscribe, help support me, give me a thumbs up, hit the bell icon. You get notifications then when I do produce new videos. Leave me a comment down below. I try to answer most of the comments, and I do enjoy receiving them. And in the meanwhile, until the next video, bye for now.